Welcome to Recap of the Day, where we recap the biggest and most important football news in the last 24 hours, and we kick things off in Spain as the Ousmane Dembele saga continues, with reports in Spain heavily suggesting a complete rift between the board and the players' camp. Those reports mention a disappointment from Xavi by Dembele's antics, with the coach reportedly believing that he would renew his contract with the club and that he lied to his face. Now, it's strongly believed that Dembele, whose contract expires in June of 2022, will indeed be out of the club by the end of the season. Whether it's now or in the summer is yet to be unknown. He recently demanded a €40 million gross salary, which understandably was turned down by the club, who due to their financial issues, but also you look on the other side, they bought Ferran Torres for €55 million, so you can see the point for Dembele as well. It's up in the air now how the situation will pan out, and who are the clubs that are willing to splash the cash for him, seeing his dwindling performances with Barcelona, and more importantly, his injury record with the club standing at a ridiculous 14 times and missing 104 games since joining the club in late 2017. In more logical transfer news, and West Ham's loan offer for Flamengo striker Gabriel Barbosa, or known as Gabigol, who had a tremendous 21, scoring 29 times in 43 games across all competition, has been officially rejected by the Brazilian club. According to the godfather of transfer news himself, Fabrizio Romano, Flamengo have fully turned down any suggestion of loan, including the 18-month loan offer, after days of negotiation with the players' representatives. Now, this might sound like the end, but Flamengo are reportedly keen on accepting any cash offers matching the value of the player, who expressed that he has been watching West Ham's matches and he has been impressed by what David Moyes doing at the club. The window is still very open until the end of January, and this might be finalised eventually in the next few days or even on the deadline of the transfer window. In Italy, and the defending Serie A champions Inter Milan are completing the move for the Cameroon international goalkeeper Andre Onana from Ajax. The 25-year-old goalkeeper has been suspended by FIFA for 9 months for doping violations back in late 2020 and returned to action with Cameroon last October during their World Cup qualifiers campaign, where they'll be part of the playoffs in March, as well as their first choice goalkeeper for the AFCON starting on Sunday, January 9th. He arrived in Milan officially on Tuesday to pass the medical tests and sign the contract to join the Nerazzurri as a free agent starting from July 1st, 2022. This comes on the back of failing negotiations between him and the Ajax board, where they refused to renew his contract due to the doping incident and other situations as well. Speaking of players who are having a hard time renewing their contracts, and the Rudiger negotiations has started officially now, as Real Madrid, Juventus, PSG and Bayern Munich are leading the race to sign the German international defender. Negotiations for a new deal apparently stalled in Chelsea after a disagreement over Rudiger's demands of a salary in excess for €200k per week, according to Sky Sports. On the other hand, Chelsea successfully retained 37-year-old Thiago Silva for another year until June 2023, and with Christensen and Cesar Azpilicueta's contracts also expiring in June 2022, Chelsea might be in the market very quickly for a new centre-back, and reportedly on the top of the list will be Sevilla's Jules Koundé, who's been in the chase from Chelsea for a while now. Sticking with Chelsea, and the ongoing Lukaku saga is seemingly gone but definitely not forgotten, as reports in London suggest that the clear the air meeting held between Belgian international striker and his manager Thomas Tuchel was very fruitful, and that he will be available against Spurs in the EFL Cup tie this midweek in the semi-final. This stems from a big controversy that dominated the English media over the last week after an interview was released for him on Sky Italia, where Lukaku expressed his frustration with his manager and the system of play at Chelsea in general. Also, he said things that were interpreted by the English media as very disrespectful, like saying he misses playing for Inter and that he wanted to move to Real Madrid, Barcelona or Bayern Munich, as they were the big teams in the world on his accord. The only question now remaining is that if this whole debacle will affect his performances, as frankly he was on a good roll before this whole situation, scoring in 2 back-to-back appearances in the Premier League against Aston Villa and Brighton since returning from an injury and COVID layoff. And we finish this recap with another transfer update, as MLS side Toronto FC finalised the move for 31-year-old Italian winger Lorenzo Insigne from Napoli as a free agent starting from July 1st, 2022. This marks the end of a 12-year journey for the international winger, in which he featured 415 times for the southern Italian club and scored 114 goals for them as of this recording, and making 91 assists as well, winning Coppa Italia twice in his career with the club, as well as an Italian Super Cup in 2014-2015. That's it for this recap. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm your host, the HOD of the PSP, and you'll be hearing from me very soon.